How close is the future? Technologies keep emerging, but I'm still confused about my career. How can I make my dreams come true? I've wanted to innovate in ICT since starting university, just like other talented students around the world. I'm waiting for the opportunity to show off my talent.
Did you know that the Huawei ICT competition has started?
It's here. This is your opportunity to showcase your skills. Show the world what you can do, broaden your horizons, and shape your future. Prepare and strive for the win. This competition leads to the future. Even though we are miles apart, we've never met in person. But we support one another. We stick with our dreams. Nothing is impossible for us. Let's connect with the world. The future awaits. Huawei ICT Competition, a platform for university students. How close is the future? Technologies keep emerging, but I'm still confused about my career. How can I make my dreams come true? I've wanted to innovate in ICT since starting university, just like other talented students around the world. I'm waiting for the opportunity to show off my talent.
Did you know that the Huawei ICT competition has started?
It's here. This is your opportunity to showcase your skills. Show the world what you can do, broaden your horizons, and shape your future. Prepare and strive for the win. This competition leads to the future. Even though we are miles apart, we've never met in person. But we support one another. We stick with our dreams. Nothing is impossible for us. Let's connect with the world. The future awaits. Huawei ICT competition, a platform.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Sophie. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the distinguished guests and audience watching this live broadcast of the practice competition of the Huawei ICT Competition 2019-2020 Global Final. This is the first time in history that the Huawei ICT competition is being held online. Today we are honored to invite two experts from the Huawei's Talent Ecosystem Development Department, Mr. Jack Zha and Wu Lingtuo, as well as Professor Wang Longjie, Vice Dean of the School of Electronic and Communication Engineering of Shenzhen Polytechnic. Welcome. They will share their experience of creating a talent ecosystem and cultivating ICT talent. And they will also share more information about the Huawei ICT competition. I know many of you may want to know the situation of the practice competition. Today, we will also connect with the examiners of the practice competition. They will be introducing how the exam rooms are arranged and the exam halls. We will also connect with the representatives of participating countries to discuss the direction, experience, and suggestions regarding the construction of a talent ecosystem. They will give their blessings to all the participants. So how is the exam going on? First, we will connect with the chief examiner, who is also the campus solution architect, Mr. Weibiao. Hello, Mr. Weibiao, could you please introduce the exam?
Hello everyone, I am Wei Biao, the Chief Judge of the Huawei ICT competition. Let me introduce the related information about the practice competition and explain the questions that you are concerned about. What is the difference between the exam room environment and the previous competitions? Due to the COVID-19 epidemic, the Huawei ICT competition 2019 to 2020 has been held online. In the annual stage, Huawei held the non-on activity to call for ICT students in universities all around the world to keep learning. This year's exam will be online and combining written and lab exam. Why do we have 3-time exam time zones? In order to take care of the global students, we have divided 3 major time zones and prepared 3 sets of exam papers of similar difficulty. At the opening ceremony, we will draw lots to confirm the examination paper's order to each time zone. The difficulty coefficient of the questions is the same to ensure fairness. About division of examiner reason of grading, there are 22 examiners in total, including 12 in the cloud track and 10 in the network track. The exam is invigilated by the Huawei winning video conference. Examiners are consistent of senior Huawei certification instructors and HCIE interviewers related to network and cloud. Each team has a meeting link, and one examiner is responsible for in which one examiner is responsible for invigilating one exam. Communications through the videos and the message. All exams in the 3 time zones will be completed on the night of November 7. It is planned to complete to mark all the papers by November 10, which each team enjoy the competition and get good results. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Weibiao, for your detailed introduction. We wish all the examiners and test takers all the best. Mr. Jia and Wu Lingtuo, as we all know, this is the first time that the Huawei ICT competition is being held online, making it a special occasion for both Huawei and contestants. What is your opinion of this online competition? Compared with offline competitions, what are the advantages and challenges of an online competition?
Sure. This online and remote competition is quite a new model for most of us. So for sure we have a lot of challenges. The first challenge is network connection. You may know that the development level of ICT in different regions is unbalanced. Network access, availability, and quality is sometimes poor in some regions. In addition, remote mode brings great challenges to the contestants for the cooperation within the team and also to the proctors to ensure the discipline. Therefore, everyone is making great efforts to maintain the high level and fairness of the competition.
And speaking to the advantages, by online mode, we can reach much big amount of participants, and it's much easier for participants to attend and schedule their time. The lack of face-to-face communication brings difficulties, but technology has made instant real-time communication available anywhere, anytime. Thus, communication within team and between team could be even more efficient. Thank you.
Thank you both for your introductions. Some of our audience may not know much about the practice competition. What will be assessed? To answer this question, let us welcome Mr. Yao Xianbing, one of the examiner representatives. Hello, Mr. Yao. Could you please introduce the practice exam?
Okay, guys, let me introduce the fifth Huawei ICT competition exam rules. The practice competition, it consists of two tracks, the network track and the cloud track, focusing on the students' theoretical knowledge of ICT, hands-on skills, and teamwork capability. The competition contents for network track, it consists of datacom, security, and WLAN technologies. And for cloud track, it focuses on the cloud service, big data, storage, and AI technologies. For competition rules, actually this time we have two different exams for our global final. The first exam is about the theory exam. It's 90 minutes and total score is 1,000 points. And second part is lab exam, should be 240 minutes and total score is also 1,000 points. The theory exam will be held online and will be made up of 100 test questions. This includes true or false, single answer, and multiple answer questions. Each team member should take the theory exam themselves. The total score for each team member is 1,000 points. And then their exam scores will be combined to determine the team's average score. The lab exam will also be held online, in which members of the team should calibrate to complete all test questions and submit their team answers. The total score for a team, it should be like 20% team theory exam scores and 80% team lab exam scores. The practice competition of Huawei ICT competition 2019 and 2020 will be held in 3 different time zones. This will be done by randomly selecting 3 sets of test questions from the question library. And this selection process will be broadcast at the opening ceremony of Global Final.
Thank you, Mr. Yao, for your introduction. After that introduction, our audience should now know much more about the competition. Well, you may also be curious about how the students compete. What are the rules, and how does Huawei guide and provide suggestions to the contestants? To answer these questions, let's now welcome Ms. Xie Dan, the examiner representative.
Please log into the conference link at least 3 minutes in advance to ensure sufficient time to complete the necessary procedures. For Chinese candidates, you need to provide a second-generation ID card or valid ID card issued by the public security authorities to take the exam. Other certificates are invalid and must be original and with the validity period. For overseas candidates, you need to provide a passport. The certificate must be original and with the validity period. Huawei will verify the qualification before the exam starts. Do not block the computer camera during the exam. The exam system automatically captures the computer camera and check for the violations. The examinees need to share their screens throughout the exam. Do not install software irrelevant to the exam without authorization. Answer questions strictly according to the requirements of the exam system. Reference documents have been provided for the lab exam. Candidates are not allowed to read the document in other ways. Otherwise, they will be regarded as cheating and their exam scores will be cancelled. Candidates cannot leave the exam for any work or other reasons irrelevant to the exam. The exam can be ended only after they have completed the answers and uploaded the answers. Huawei shall strictly keep the exam content confidential. Do not record the exam content by means of recording, screen recording, or taking notes. Do not discuss, communicate, or disclose exam questions after the exam. Do not use any electronic devices, including cameras, watches with storage functions, tablets, and mobile phones. During the test, if a candidate is found using the above equipment during the examination, the team will be disqualified.
Thank you, Ms. Xie. Besides the three representatives, many other examiners have offered a considerable amount of help throughout the competition. They also want to express their best wishes to all of the participants. Now let's get to know them through a short video.
Huawei ICT competition contains practice track and the innovation track. Practice track exams students' theoretic and practice skills, including theoretic exams and hands-on experimental examinations. Innovation track examines students' creative design abilities, and it takes the form of project presentation.
What is the difference between this ICT competition and the past? What are the highlights?
Due to the COVID-19, all the examinations will be conducted online this year.
Could you please give me a brief introduction to the 5th Huawei ICT competition 2019 to 2020?
The practice competition consists of two tracks, network track and cloud track. The practice competition focuses on students' knowledge reserve of ICT theory, hands-on practice, and team collaboration capacities. And the innovation competition focuses on new technologies, such as IoT, big data, and AI. It aims to test the students' innovation and team collaboration development capacities.
What's the difference between this ICT competition and the past? What are the highlights?
Well, about written exam, we support iLearning X exam platform. As for e-lab, we support WeLink meeting invigilator.
Could you please give a brief introduction to this Huawei ICT Global Final competition?
The theoretic exam will take 90 minutes and the lab exam will take 4 hours. The theoretic exam is an online exam. There are 100 questions. The questions are classified to true or false, single answer and multiple answer. Each of the team members will answer the questions independently. The average score will be calculated.
Each team will take an online exam. Team work together to complete the same set of exam questions, and they need to submit a final result after completing the exam.
The total score of a team is 1001. Theoretic test score accounts for 20%. Lab test score accounts for 80%.
What are the tips when figure out the problem for cloud track?
The cloud track lab exam is based on Huawei Cloud website. Exam questions for AI, big data, cloud service, and storage technologies are not related to each other. 3 candidates can cooperate, negotiate with each other to answer questions.
What are the tips when figure out the problem for network track?
Well, for the theoretical exam, actually it is recommended you need to finish this question which you are 100% sure first. And for the lab exam,
This is a teamwork exam. Actually, you can assign different questions for different students and finally check the answer together.
Could you please give a brief introduction to innovation competition system?
The innovation competition focuses on applications innovation of emerging technologies such as IoT, AI, and big data, and aims to test students' innovation and cooperative development capabilities. The team used the Huawei Cloud IoT platform and the Huawei Cloud AI resource and the Huawei IoT development suite to design and develop innovative and practical works.
What are the benefits of participating in this competition?
Students will have a chance to compete with other students from all over the world. It will improve their individual abilities and teamwork skills. It will be an amazing experience.
Best wishes to all of you. Best wishes to all of you. Best wishes to all of you. Keep moving towards our dreams.
Keep moving towards our dream.
Keep moving towards our dreams.
Keep moving towards our dream.
Connection, story, future.
What an inspiring video. As we know, the Huawei ICT competition is an important part of Huawei's talent ecosystem construction and a flagship event of Huawei ICT Academy. Huawei has a long-standing commitment to building a robust ICT talent ecosystem. What is Huawei's latest talent ecosystem strategy, and what are the new policies of Huawei ICT Academy? Next, Jack Zhao will tell us. Welcome, Jack.
Okay, thank you. It's my pleasure. It's true, the COVID-19 pandemic is so severe this year that it's far beyond our expectation. Many cities knocked down, and the academic campus are keeping closed. The normal teaching and learning activities are so much affected. To help our ICT Academy students keeping studying, we have enhanced our online tools and course materials and launched the Learn program from March this year. This has been announced earlier. Today I would like to take this chance to share the updates we have made on other two topics, the courses and HCI process. We believe the most important thing we can bring to the Academy is the course content. So we build our courses for ICT Academy and define our ICT Academy solution portfolio, as you can see. This portfolio contains 3 parts: entry courses, core courses, and innovative courses. Core courses are the most important part. They are based on Huawei certification and are tailored to be suitable for academies. For each course, the courseware package contains at least 8 components. Some are used before class, some are in class, and some are after class. This is a big change, and with very heavy workload. So we are carefully managing the priorities. As the highest priority, we have selected 3 courses to be launched this year, namely Datacom, Storage, and AI. We hope that our academies will then try and challenge this new courseware and give us feedback so that we can keep improving them. Another important update is about TTT. Based on some received feedback and extensive internal discussions, we feel that a major change to our HCI process is necessary. This slide shows our new TTT and certification process, you may see. For an instructor needs to go through 4 steps to become an HCI. The first and the second steps are to register and associate with the ICT Academy and to get Huawei certification. There's no sequence requirement for these 2 steps, but they are both the prerequisites of the third one, which is to complete the MOOC and pass the online exam. There are 2 main updates that I would like to emphasize. The one is HCI focuses on understanding the processes and IT tools and using Huawei courses rather than technical capabilities and teaching skills. Another is the new HCI process supports all online and self-paced mode. We also have some other updates, including the IT platform functions, which will also launched soon. We hope that all instructors and students from our ICT Academy will enjoy them, and we would like to have feedbacks from you so that we can keep improving. That's all. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Jack, for your detailed interpretation. I do have one more request for you, though. Could you please tell us a typical practice of Huawei's collaboration with universities?
Well, I would rather suggest to have some honored guests from our ICT Academy to share their opinion and views of the cooperation with Huawei.
All right.
Okay. So, the first one I would like to invite is Professor Sean Wannington. Professor Sean Wannington, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Executive Dean at Middlesex University and Chair of the Huawei ICT Academy Advisory Board for Western Europe. Middlesex University joined the Huawei ICT Academy program in 2018. The university is listed top in the Times Higher Young University rankings for modern university in the UK and top 500 university in the world by THE, and holds UK's first silver award for teaching excellence framework. Hi Sean, nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you, and I'm really pleased to be here.
Considering the fast technology development within the ICT sector and the merge of certain technologies such as AI, IoT, and big data, how does Middlesex University manage to keep updated on new developments and ensure instructors and students are kept updated?
Okay, thank you. That's an excellent question. And I suppose the first part of that answer is that many of my academic colleagues are actively researching in these fields, and they are obviously looking at the developments of new technologies, new standards, but also innovative applications of new and emerging technologies. So we have staff who are very active in research, and that interest feeds and informs their teaching in lots of ways, through case studies, through examples, through project work that they get the students to deal with, and so on. So that's one important area. We also work very closely with industry, and particularly with the companies that employ our graduates, and we work very hard to make sure that our graduates have the employability skills that industry needs. And this will be a mixture of, if you like, hard technical skills, so knowledge of particular technologies, particular practical skills, but also very important interpersonal skills that we know that that employers really value. So communication skills, teamworking skills, and increasingly intercultural awareness and the ability to work with teams and colleagues from different countries and different cultures. So we work closely with industry, and then finally we work very closely with the leading manufacturers of technology, including Huawei, a very important partner for us, to make sure that to make sure that we are feeding the latest developments in technology as it's launched by companies into our programs and into our research activity. So, in summary, I guess it will be through the research that our staff do, and that benefiting the curriculum, through our links with employers, and through our links with the key equipment manufacturers in the area.
Great. We share the opinion of the importance of the cooperation between universities and the companies, just as what Middlesex University and Huawei is doing. Thank you. Following that, what kind of resources could companies like Huawei provide for academia that would be useful in keeping updated on the latest technology development?
Well, first of all, you already provide some fantastic resources, some online resources and laboratory equipment and so on to support our teaching. So that's much appreciated and a very important part of our offering. In terms of latest developments, you also do some really fantastic work producing things like white papers, looking at technology trends, how things will change and develop over the next, say, 5 to 10 years. And these sorts of developments are really, really important because I know from working in education, it takes time to produce the kind of high quality material and online resources that you produce. So to keep really up to date, things like white papers, which can be very topical, very timely, looking at specialist topics are really, really important. So we certainly really appreciate that and getting insights from leading engineers and scientists on how technology will develop and how it will impact on the way we live and work.
Great, happy to hear that. I wonder, for any resources provided by industry, how would these be used in an academia environment? Could you share some examples?
Okay, well, I suppose we are living at the moment in a very unusual times with an awful lot of, because of the global pandemic, an awful lot of our activity now has switched to online. So online resources have never been more important, and so the use of things like access to online learning materials and also to simulation tools. I think that's really useful. From our point of view, I think having the simulation tools available in the cloud is really helpful because we're very conscious that not all our students have access to high-spec laptops or even high-speed internet connections where they are living and working and studying. So cloud-based solutions are very good from that point of view. Mm-hmm. The resources that you produce, both for learners to use, but also the sort of train-the-trainer resources, I think are really important. In my experience, people who work in education, whether that's higher education or further education, have a real love of learning, and they love teaching, obviously, but they also love learning. So for them to be able to continue to learn, to learn new technologies and be at the cutting edge of the discipline is really, really important. For their, obviously it helps with their teaching, it's essential for their teaching, but I think from a kind of personal growth and development point of view, that's really important. So the supports for the trainer support, I think, is also very, very important.
Got it, thanks, very useful. And what additional resources should Huawei include in its ICT Academy program, do you think?
I mean, at the moment, the existing courses, the introductory courses and the certified courses cover a really good range, and I think part of the role is going to be keeping that up to date to make sure that new technologies are reflected and added. But I'm sure you're doing that. I think from working in a university, and I've got very close links with colleges as well. Yes. I think some of the things you do in terms of, for example, making the laboratory teaching equipment available at lower cost. But those sorts of things are incredibly useful because universities and colleges never have enough money. So that's one thing. I think we've seen in terms of new possibilities. I think we've seen with the pivot to so much now being done online, perhaps some really interesting opportunities, around things like master classes, which could be delivered online. support for trainer-the-trainer type activities, perhaps some work to, more work around kind of building a community around the ICT Academy, which is perhaps more of an online presence. Because I think people are obviously getting more and more used to working in this way. And whilst I hope we'll be able to get back to, face-to-face meetings, perhaps at some point in the future we might actually be able to have this conversation face-to-face. I think, that there are some real opportunities around digital platforms and things, as I said, things like masterclasses and support for people working in the academies.
Okay, thanks for your comments. We will keep improving our online materials and activities. Back to the competition. 3 teams from Middlesex University are taking part in this year's Huawei ICT competition global final. Would you please give a few words to the contestants who participate in this year's Huawei ICT competition?
Obviously, I hope our teams do fantastically well. I'm sure they will. We have fantastic students. I love working in universities. I love teaching and working with students. They provide so much energy, and I'm always struck by the incredible talent and passion and hard work of our young people. So I hope they do incredibly well. I'm sure they'll equip themselves and the university well, and we'll be proud of them. As I said, I do think it's a really great opportunity to work with industry-leading equipment on challenges which are highly technical challenges that will bring the team together to kind of work on a kind of time-defined way, so they're up against time pressures. So I think it's a really, really good opportunity to kind of simulate some experiences that students will face in industry, and as I say, the opportunity to work with leading tech and to meet people from different countries and cultures, I think is really, really important. So we welcome these opportunities and the chance for our students to sort of step outside the university and actually begin to engage with that world and begin the journey to become highly successful in their chosen careers later on.
Okay, thanks so much, Professor Sean Wannington. Let's wish the contestants all the best and a wonderful future. Now I would like to invite my second guest, Yvonne Kelly, the Principal and Chief Executive, Barking Dagenham College, and board member of Huawei ICT Academy Advisory Board for Western Europe. The Huawei ICT Academy program was launched at the college in 2017, and the college currently delivers Huawei course to computing students. Welcome, Yvonne. Thanks for joining us. Barking and Dagenham College was one of the first colleges in the UK to be selected as an Institute of Technology, or IoT, by the Department of Education. Would you please tell us a little about what an IoT is and what role Huawei plays in your IoT project?
So Barking Dagenham College, with a number of HE and employer partners, has established the East London Institute of Technology. The East London Institute of Technology aims to create world-leading skills using an ecosystem of all the partners and the locations under one brand. We aim to incorporate learning, research, innovation and enterprise to ensure that we develop excellence in advanced and higher level technical skills. And the purpose of that is to not only meet the needs of our learners, but the local and London employers and communities. The advanced and high-level skills ecosystem covers a range of qualifications and programs, including construction and infrastructure, advanced engineering and robotics, creative and digital, and information and communications technology. We will be providing training through flexible and a wide range of delivery methods, and particularly we'll be targeting new starts learners as well as current employees to upskill, to reskill, to ensure that we create a skilled workforce for now and in the future. Huawei's involvement in that has been fantastic. They are a strategic partner, so they're supporting it through what we call a core anchor partner, as well as a material partner, and supporting our steering group as well as our TSEG group.
Okay, it's our pleasure to support you in this project as well. My second question is, what are your future plans for the Institute of Technology at Buckingham Dagenham College, and how can Huawei continue to support you?
Yeah, our future plans, as we said, is to develop excellence in the skills for the future, as well as the skills for now. We will be working very, very closely with employers to collaborate with employers in terms of the design, in terms of the delivery, also the equipment that we are using to support that, the facilities that have already been established. We'll be working very closely again with our employee partners about learner support and outreach work, and as well as obviously ensuring that the technical training that we're doing is fit for purpose and is relevant to the industry. Also, a key part of the IoT is research and development. We'll be working with our core partners and particularly with Huawei in those research opportunities and collaborating very closely with our university partner, which is the University of Coventry University. So Huawei's support, as I said, is about a strategic partner as well as a material partner and an advisor who can help us not only design the right training, deliver the right training, but also inform what we do going forward.
Great to hear that. We will continue to provide support to make sure that this project is successful over the next 5 years as well. Huawei ICT Academy offers a wide range of industry certification courses to support the teaching and learning of digital skills. Which courses in particular are of benefit to Buckingham and Dagenham College?
Yeah, I mean, the portfolio of courses that Huawei's got is absolutely superb. It's a fantastic wide range that's really relevant to the sector at the moment. So, you know, we've started off with network, but you know, the range there in terms of the 5G, in terms of the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, the cloud service training is absolutely fundamental to ensuring that our learners get the best opportunity and the best skill development to support that. One of the key developments that's occurred, obviously, is the mapping of the programs into the level 3 programs in association with Pearson's, so that we get that embedded into some of the qualifications, the level 3 qualifications that are available. And also it allows our learners to progress through the pathways across all of the levels, from associate to professional to expert. One of the key benefits that Huawei has provided for us is the free exam vouchers for our students to take industry certification and to gain employability skills. The ICT competition, which has been absolutely fantastic, and one of our students benefited from that with a trip to China for the finalists. And obviously the BDC student representation at the Western Europe in the ICT competition from 17 to 18, where we won second place, was a fantastic opportunity for our students, for the college itself. And also my role on the Huawei ICT Academy Advisory Board has been hugely beneficial for us to engage with not only the development of the materials, but obviously about how they can play a key part in developing skills within London and within the wider country as a whole.
Thank you. And your participation on the advisory board is very valuable. We will take many of your comments, which are very, very useful in the progression of our program. Thank you. In your opinion, how important do you think industry certifications are, and how do they benefit students?
Yeah, I mean, industry certificates, as you're aware, are designed by industry for industry. You know, the certification gives the opportunity for learners to understand what the skills, the knowledge, the attributes that are needed for industry at this moment in time. So vendor certifications are absolutely valuable for students to gain those recognition for the learning that's taking place, the skills that they're currently developing, the knowledge that they're currently developing, to allow them to progress into industry. It gives them a better foothold in terms of their current expertise, and allows the industry to understand that there is a level of preparedness and work readiness of those learners.
Okay, thank you. We run this ICT competition every single year, and you will also participate in the ICT competition as well and get a very good result. How useful do you think ICT competition are for students' knowledge and skills development and potential employment opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, essential. I'm an absolute advocate of the skills competition. I have been for many, many years. And the skills competition supports BDC's commitment to excellence in education and training through career-focused education and training. It helps the learners achieve their potential to potentially become world-class professionals. There's a growing recognition of the importance of high-quality technical skills and the role they play in helping learners to progress their careers. And skills competitions boost students and apprentices' focus, their motivation, their performance, and it leads to greater confidence. You know, you find that they're much more confident about their development, about their technical expertise. And by gaining higher level technical and transferable skills and personal attributes, it enables them to be the most sought after for employers. It provides a great opportunity for social mobility for some of our most disadvantaged learners across a diverse student population.
Thank you, and I do agree with you. Due to COVID-19 and having to socially distance, many universities and colleges have had to adapt their environment and traditional teaching methods with a huge shift towards remote online delivery. Would you please share with us your experience of how you had to adapt your teaching delivery?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're now in a hybrid delivery model where we've got on-site delivery and we've got remote delivery. And as I said, where it takes place remotely, that's by synchronous live sessions. We've got live lessons going on, and we've got asynchronous, anytime, anywhere, interactive learning going on, such as pre-recorded videos with supportive learning materials. We've got a blended learning framework, a fantastic blended learning framework that was already in development before the lockdown, with a wide range of training programs to support our staff digital capabilities, as well as to develop our students' digital capabilities. And that framework covers 4 areas, which is resource, activity, support, and assessments. We're fortunate to have been using a number of platforms for education. We're using Google Classroom and Google Meets, which allows us to use a range of materials, such as the Huawei learning materials, to support learning for our learners. We also, just to add to that, we are using, obviously, we have a fantastic facilities with a wide range of hardware and software. So we're using now, more than ever, computers with webcams, which has allowed us to deliver online learning as well as hybrid learning for some of our learners being not only on-site. So we've got situations where our learners in the same classroom are on-site and off-site, which is probably one of the most significant changes for us to be doing that. We're investing in new technologies. We're looking at new ways in which classrooms are set up with microphones and cameras, to support the development of that blended approach. And as I said, a big acceleration of staff and student skills, digital skills and capabilities through the extended use of cameras and such things as Bluetooth headsets.
Okay, thanks a lot for sharing this good news with us. I believe we and other academies can definitely benefit of it. Remote online teaching is very different for instructors. When you are not having eye contact with the students, and hard to get the reaction of the students as well. Would you please share what the challenge is and how can Huawei support you further?
Yeah, and I think this is something that's been seen nationally. You know, the advanced and higher level learners have embraced, you know, the blended learning approach. They've got the skills to adapt. You know, the resilience is there. So that's been a positive. Our biggest challenge is with our lower levels. Our lower level learners are having problems with accessibility, also the hardware. So we're finding that, you know, students need more access to hardware in terms of tablets, in terms of 4G, Wi-Fi issues through the dongles, and obviously the routers. So in terms of support, it's really some basic things that's needed in terms of sessions with the learners and ongoing sessions to get them to understand how to use even their own devices and how to get them to understand the use of emails and passwords using their own devices. But obviously, any support with hardware is gratefully received so that we can ensure that every learner has the same entitlement to hardware. We are investing heavily. We're purchasing again a range of devices to support our learners. But you know, it's a big bill, and you know, any support that we can get from our employer partners such as Huawei is gratefully received for all of our learners.
Sure. We can even offer direct training to students to help the instructor in adjustment of the online delivery mode. That's all what I want to ask. It's perfect. Thank you very much for your great comments and experience, and I hope to receive your continued support in the future. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing. We now know that Huawei's ICT talent ecosystem has successfully been implemented at Middlesex University and Barking and Dagenham College in the UK. Both parties are satisfied with the cooperation and both have positive expectations. I do believe in this global final that there are some students taking part from the UK, so I wish you all the best of luck. Now let's watch a video to understand more about the Huawei ICT competition and its significance to students.
How close is the future? Technologies keep emerging, but I'm still confused about my career. How can I make my dreams come true? I've wanted to innovate in ICT since starting university, just like other talented students around the world. I'm waiting for the opportunity to show off my talent.
Did you know that the Huawei ICT competition has started?
It's here. This is your opportunity to showcase your skills. Show the world what you can do, broaden your horizons, and shape your future. Prepare and strive for the win. This competition leads to the future. Even though we are miles apart, we've never met in person. But we support one another. We stick with our dreams. Nothing is impossible for us. Let's connect with the world. The future awaits. Huawei ICT competition, a platform for university students.
Through the introductions and interviews, we now all know the Huawei ICT competition has become an influential event across the world. What are the original reasons behind Huawei launching this event, and what achievements have been made throughout this competition? Mr. Wu will now give a speech. Welcome, Mr. Wu.
Thanks, Sophie. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to talk a little bit about the history of ICT competition. Huawei started ICT Academy program in 2013, and the first ICT competition happened in 2015 in China. The idea of the competition is simply to encourage students to communicate with peer ICT learners, to share experience and compete for excellency. We would like to create a community of high-tech pursuers. The ICT competition has received a big welcome since its beginning. The first competition had more than 7,000 students participating alone in China, and it became more and more global. The last competition in 2019, there are more than 100,000 students from 61 countries join this global event. The competition has truly become a global event for ICT students and also a platform for sharing and exchanging ideas and experiences, not only for students, teachers, and academy managers also. There are dozens of forums, webinars in region and global level for teachers to share a teaching experience and academic interests. During the last two competitions, many universities also provide international student exchange offers for ICT competition winners. There are a lot of stories of students, particularly for winners, were offered in terms of jobs immediately either in Huawei or in our partners and our customers around the world. Huawei ICT competition also evolves year by year. In the very beginning, there is just one track to cover all technologies. Eventually, we developed two tracks, one for network, the other for cloud computing. Those competitions are mostly technical and require great knowledge and skills to solve practical problems. These tracks are now cataloged as practice competition. Since the last competition in 2019, we introduced a completely new type, the innovation competition. Innovation competition is open and project-based challenging. Competing teams are asked to find their topics by themselves. There's no limitation to the topic as far as its challenging problem in the real world. Huawei will provide technical resources, including IoT devices, cloud computing resources, AI tools. Both practice competition and innovation competition have three levels of advancing mechanism to ensure that the very best competitors could stand out. That's a brief story of Huawei ICT competition. Hope more and more students will join and realize their dreams. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring sharing. And thank you to Huawei for providing the fair access to high-quality education opportunities. Okay, so let's get back to the competition. This year's competition is well underway, and the champions from last year's global final would like to wish the participants all the best. They prepared a short video, so let's take a look.
大家好，我是楚文根，来自上海交通大学。这个是我们在去年的华为 ICT 创新大赛上的一等奖。我觉得对于我们整个团队来说，都是一种激励和鼓励。
Hello, I am Robert Gutierrez from San Marcos University. I luckily had the chance to win the first prize in the Global Track and Practice competition of the Huawei ICT competition last year.
Hello， 大家好，我叫姚顺宇，来自上海交通大学电子信息与电气工程学院，我是一名研究生。19年，我参加了华为 ICT 大赛的创新赛，我们用到了华为的 Atlas 套件和华为云 Model S 技术，人体动作迁移运用最新的人工智能技术生成对话弧，实现人物之间的动作实时迁移。
Hello, I am Carlos Ramirez from San Marcos University. I luckily had the chance to win the ICT competition Cloud Track.
大家好，我叫魏坤祥，就读于桂林电子科技大学。去年第4届华为 ICT 大赛全球总决赛云赛道中获得了冠军。
大家好，我叫魏明星，来自桂林电子科技大学北海校区，在去年第4届华为 ICT 大赛全球总决赛的实践赛云赛道获得冠军。
大家好，我叫李松，来自于桂林电子科技大学。我在2019年参加第4届华为 ICT 大赛实践赛云赛道全球总决赛，并获得冠军。
Hello, I am Hui Xin-Zi, one of the members of the first prize winning team for the Huawei ICT competition 2018-2019 Global Finals.
There was a conference in my university where I decided to give it a try to my best. Since it's a big competition, I heard of past students who had gone to China. People, of course, meeting person from every part of the world makes you think about how big the challenge is. I knew about the ICT competition because of my university. I saw some Facebook posts about it. I decided to participate in the ICT competition because I like a lot the cloud technologies and also Huawei Cloud.
比赛前，我们队伍就已经从比赛的大纲分析可能会考察的重点，然后有做过分工。赛后关于这个问题的一句话总结就是：不要慌，有条理，观察解决，其实很简单。
Based on my experience, let me share 4 useful tips for the networking track. For other tracks, it may apply to you as well. Firstly, always work bottom up. Check you have to check all the links in layer 1. Make sure that everything in layer 2 is up and running. Then lastly, then you proceed to layer 3, so on and so forth. Always leave the firewalls last. Secondly, always ask yourself, do I know how packets leave the network? And do I know how the packets enter my network? Thirdly, a slow and steady approach minimizes the chances for errors. Take your time to configure the devices, read the manuals carefully. Always keep track of a lot of actions that you have done. You will thank yourself in the closing stages of the competition. And last but not least, if you have any doubts, always consult the invigilators to seek for clarifications. The competition, in my opinion, is about understanding the requirements and implementing them accordingly. While certain criteria may not be mentioned on the question paper, it is up to your professional judgment to fulfill the requirements and deliver a functional network.
Make your best effort, guys. You have to invest time if you want to achieve the first prize.
相信自己，加油！
祝愿各位参赛选手们都能超常发挥，挑战自己，取得心目中的好成绩。
Well, thank you for your advice and warm words. We have also received many tips from teachers. Due to the pandemic, most of our guests and many of our guests can only meet us online. However, today we are very lucky to invite Professor Wang Longjie, Vice Dean of the School of Electronic and Communication Engineering of Shenzhen Polytechnic, to share his experience. Professor Wang led his students to win first prize for 3 times. I would like to invite Mr. Wu to interview Professor Wang.
Thanks, Sophie. 王院长你好，非
Hello, Professor Wang. It's an honor to have you here. Shenzhen Polytechnic has attended Huawei ICT competition for 5 years in a row. This is a special year. Because of the pandemic, we moved the competition to online, and so did the teaching and learning. Can you share with us your perspective on online learning and teaching? Well, the pandemic did change the way we teach fundamentally. Last semester, the teachers and students were kind of forced to deliver teaching and learning activities online. We did complete the task. At the beginning of the outbreak, we thought that this would only be a temporary measure. But then, as it went on, as we saw more pandemic control and prevention measures, we could not return to campus for a whole semester. All of our courses had to be delivered online. During this time, teachers, students, and all our faculty had to overcome all kinds of difficulties, such as webcast platform, the technical issues, network bandwidth. We have given a lot of efforts to have finally developed a feasible and effective way of teaching online. Looking back on this experience, we do feel that we have accomplished something remarkable. Yes, indeed it is. Regarding online teaching and learning, what experience or what lessons can Shenzhen Polytechnic share with us? We actually started developing online courses, MOOC courses, a long time ago. That is probably why, after the pandemic outbreak, we were able to shift to online learning and teaching quickly. And I think two very important experiences for us is, first, this new generation of students are incredibly smart. They can adapt to remote learning very quickly. This is a very important prerequisite. Secondly, small private online courses, SPOC courses as we call it, is a very effective way of teaching online because it's more well organized. Compared to MOOC, it suits us better. During the adoption of online learning, what difficulties have you encountered and which of them can be resolved with the help of enterprises? What can be improved? Online learning is convenient and inexpensive. However, the interaction and the organization of learning are quite challenging. Therefore, we believe that if it's at all possible, offline face-to-face learning and teaching should still be the dominant approach. But for adult students or part-time students, we can use online approach as the dominant one. We do hope as university that enterprises could work with us more in developing more diverse, practical, and high-quality teaching and learning content. And we're happy to contribute our part. Thank you. Thank you for your advice. In this special time, for this special competition, can you say a few words to encourage the contestants? Well, all contestants, even though we cannot meet face-to-face, but through the internet, more people got to participate in the competition and we get to meet more friends. Through the competition, you will learn a lot, and I wish you all the best in the competition, complete all the configurations correctly, and get great results. Huawei ICT competition is a great learning opportunity. I'm grateful to Huawei for giving the teachers and students this opportunity. This is not the end of your journey. It's a new beginning. I wish you all the best in your learning journey of nanotechnologies. to learn more and get all the benefits out of it. Thank you, Professor Wang, and I wish your students all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Wang, for sharing your insight. I also have a question for Jack and Mr. Wu on behalf of our students. What will Huawei provide to students in the online education domain?
Well, we have been providing various tools for ICT Academy, such as MOOC for online learning and IT tool for online exams. To address the challenges for the academic this year, we have further enhanced the tools and platform, so to be able to provide online TTT, online lab, and more webinars. These online tools are appreciated by many academies. At the same time, we realize that there are also many space to be further optimized, so we will keep improving.
And besides the tools and policies, content is also very important and probably the most important part of online education. Huawei has created more than 300 MOOCs courses, and most of them are freely accessible. Our courses were open to our partners, particularly educators from university and colleges. And we encourage educators to make localized course materials. So in short, students will have more course resources, not only in local language like French, Spanish, Arabic, Russian, Portugal, etc., but also tailor-made according to the local education environment. Thanks.
That was great. Thank you both for sharing. We now have a deeper understanding of the talent ecosystem and online education. Through today's live broadcast, you should now have a more comprehensive understanding of Huawei's ICT competition and Huawei's ICT talent ecosystem. We wish all of the students good luck on your exam. We sincerely wish a bright future to the Huawei ICT competition, and we hope that Huawei's ICT talent ecosystem can grow steadily. We also look forward to Huawei's advanced technologies, knowledge, and experience being shared with more people, ultimately bringing digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. Connection, glory, future. So that's all today for today's live broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you will continue to follow Huawei's ICT Academy, Huawei's ICT talent ecosystem, and of course, Huawei's ICT competition. Thanks again for everyone for watching, and thanks all again for the guests that joined us today. So we will see you next time.